Good morning, everyone. My name is Melanie B. Kabukus. So today, I'll be reporting the topic about basic principles in making. So, baking is one of the food preparation method that requires a recipe to yield a standard result. So, ang baking nagamit og dry heat oven basta for baking tools. So, I'll be discussing the principles in making. Number 1. Observe accurate measurement. As for cooking, importante ang tanan ingredients nga ma-measured carefully para masunod ang proper ingredients, which is dili siya mapalpak iluto. Number 2. Using accurate quantity and proportion of ingredients essential to generate desired product quality. Importante ang pagsunod sa sakto nga measurement aron ma-successful ang desired product. And also, dapat timan-an nimo aron dili ka masayop. Number 3. Use the exact ingredients as stated in the recipe. Oo, importante sad ni siya aside sa pag-measure sa ingredients so that the desired or finished product has its good quality and consistency. Number 4. Follow correct mixing method and baking procedures. Yes, it is important to follow the correct mixing method so that a consistency is fine, and if not, the result is bad, or the quality if the product is poor. Also, the proper temperature should be followed. For the next topic, I'll be discussing the mixing method in baking techniques. So, mixing method is a general term that includes creaming, cutting in, folding, cut and fold, beating, stirring, whipping, and sifting. In mixing, two or more ingredients are evenly dispersed in one another until they become one product. Each mixing method gives a different texture and character to the baking goods. So, creaming is mauni ang pagsagol sa duha ka ingredients until ma-mix og ang iyang consistency and mixture is soft and smooth. Cutting in. This method cuts fat into small pieces. Example, butter and flour. Mixed na sila until magagmay or ma-fine texture ang product or ang ingredients. Folding. Folding is the combining ingredients together without using stirring, beating, or otherwise dili magkadimaon. Most common nga gagamit when combining ingredients is na-whip na nga ingredients. Example is egg whites and whipped cream. Cut and fold. This where all the ingredients were mixed and naani siya proper mixing, which is mag-una sa top, cut down from the center of the mixture to the bottom of the bowl. Then draw the scraper quickly toward you against the edge of the top and up to the left and out until the ingredients are of the top and up to the left and out until the ingredients are mixed well. Beating. This is the rigorous mixing of methods using a wooden spoon, electric whisk, food mixer, and food processor. So, ang purpose ani is to combine ingredients and to incorporate air, making cakes light and fluffy. So, stirring. Stirring is very simple as it involves mixing all ingredients using a circular motion together with a utensil, usually spoon, mixed to the ingredients in a back and forth, up and down, and round motion. until they are smooth. So there are example.
Done yet? We're going to keep going.
So whipping is usually used for sponges, egg whites, for meringue,
and there you have it. After just a few minutes, you have lovely whipped cream.
Sugar
Look at
is
that.
added
It's nice
to the
and
eggs
thick. It's
for
not too soft. This is the perfect texture you
until
want for
ma-form
making
ang
my no
air
machine
cells
ice cream,
and
because this is the
incorporate
stage
it
where you're
into
going
the
to add
mix.
in your condensed milk. And I
So,
feel like this is the part
until ma-achieve na nimo ang iyahang exact quantity, that will be humana na siya na na-achieve na nimo ang steps sa whip. So, sifting. So, the purpose of sifting method is to separate and to make the dry ingredients finer so that the air is incorporated through this method. So, sifting, mo na siya ang example. Flour. Imo siyang isift na kay before na siya mukuan kay na siya mga dagko na yung gagawin tabog-ol. So, need gid siya i-sift para ang gawas in a process of cooking or baking is nindot iyahang consistency sa product, which is as a very important thing to know. So, next, let's begin to baking method. Baking process of cooking by dry heat, especially in some kind of oven, it is probably the oldest cooking method. There are two methods in making bread that includes the following: bulk fermentation process and wood bread process. So, bulk fermentation process, also called the first rise or primary fermentation, is one of the most important steps of yeast bread baking. It begins right when mixing ends and lasts until the dough is divided and pre-shaped. So, ang structure kay nagdepende on the amount of yeast na add og ang dough temperature. So, here's the example. Wok bread process allows the use of lower protein weights and reduces processing time. The system, being able to produce a loaf of bread from flour to sliced and packaged from in about there and a half halves. So the benefit of this is to reduce the cost of baking bread, benefiting the customers. So kani nga process is medyo sayon-sayon siya sa umauto siya. Thank you for listening and God bless.
few moments later. Two hours later.
Good day everyone, I am Krisa and my report is about oven temperature conversion and baking temperature in time. So the first one is oven temperature conversion. I know you won't see it clearly, pero ako na lang siyang gi-print. Dere. Makita ninyo yung Fahrenheit, Celsius, and description. If it's low, hot, moderately hot, like that. So, types of product oven temperature, baking time, breads. For example, this biscuit. Iyang Fahrenheit is 425 Fahrenheit to 450 Fahrenheit with a time of 10 to 15 minutes. So, it is very important to follow the right procedure upon baking, kaya each ingredient has a perfect baking time and temperature. So, I have these, not rules to follow, but somehow like words. So, remember this. Number 1, basics in baking include knowledge and understanding of measurements, substitution, use of baking equipment, and ingredients used in baking. For a good start, have a mastery of the basics. So, before ka mag-bake, dapat, first and foremost, dapat presence of mind, focus. Kaya pwede ka mapaso anak. And it might cause like injuries if dili ka focus sa imong gitrabaho. Next is dapat kibaw ka sa measurements sa imuhang gi-bake para dili mapalabian o dili pod kanang makuwangan. And if ever na ay like recipe nga wala sa imong palitanan or like wala ka anang ingredients, mangita kag substitute ana. Number 2, keep in mind the general guidelines and principles in baking, as this will help in successful baking. So, as what I've said earlier, dapat kamaujud ka sa proper ingredients and proper measurement para perfect ang inyong gi-bake. Next is breads are classified as yeast breads and quick breads. Quick breads include muffins and biscuits. Yeast breads include hard and soft breads and rolls. Number 4, methods of mixing dough for yeast breads include the straight dough method, sponge dough method, and no-knead method. Last, there are standards characteristics for good quick breads. Use the standard sheet evaluating the types of bread. So, those are the words to remember upon baking para makuha ninyo ang success sa inyong gi-bake. Thank you!
Hi everyone! So today we're going to make an upside down cake. So here are the ingredients. So here's my upside down cake. So wala pa na ako siya gitanggal kay init pa.